Hey YouTube, I'm Coach K, and you're now watching the In the Huddle podcast. Today's topic I wanted to jump into since tomorrow is March. Nothing better to talk about than Ncaa March Madness. As you may know, it's a bracket of the best 68 teams who get picked on Selection Sunday, which will be March 11th this year. And usually you get your dominant teams, the big powerhouse names, as far as like Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State, Villanova, Arizona, UCLA. You get those top names on there, and then you get teams that you probably never heard of. And pretty much the bracket, once that's all set and all the teams are, you get, you look at the format, the standings, and you do your research. When I say do your research, you obviously you're not gonna know every single school. So if you got a team like Wichita State going against Duke, you want to take the comparisons. You want to go research both teams, see their strengths, their weaknesses, and you compare those two before you make a solidified decision before your pick. This is what I would do. This is what I actually do when I do my picks. I take each team, whoever they're facing, and I just measure them out. I basically, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, 3-point field goals for the game, free throw percentages. I even go back into their regular season where it shows you the breakdown where they might have had a highlighted, 4-game winning streak. They might have beat some top teams in the college level, So all those play a factor, and I basically, pick the best out of those that I feel, because you got to understand, not every top dog team is going to be the underdog team. You get those Cinderella stories. You get those those teams that you never hear about and knock the top seeded team right out the box. So you have to pay attention to that. You can't just fill out what you think and Georgetown, Duke, North Carolina, UConn. You don't think too much of that. You have to really dissect the teams to make to make a decision on who you think has a chance. So as you may know, we have the first two rounds, and then we have the Sweet 16. We also have, after that is the Elite 8. Then you have the Final 4, and then the last two remaining goes on to the championship game. Now, in my opinion, usually Cinderella teams, whoever the Cinderella teams might be, or usually make it, Sweet 16, Elite 8. You might hit Elite 8. You can see a Final 4, but always think there will be a Cinderella team. A Cinderella team at least makes Sweet 16, Elite 8. So you always have to keep that in mind. And then you want to look at these Cinderella teams, or the teams that you may not know, and look at their history. Look how many times they been to the tournament, how many times they lost in the tournament, their regular season records, their losses, the teams they played. Break the individual player breakdown. You have to do all that. And this is what's fun. I love March Madness. This is what's fun. It's entertaining. So many games in so many days. It's beautiful. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps me on my toes. You're doing all the research. You're online. You're searching schools. You're searching players. And it's just a fun thing to do. I would do this with you. You could do it with anybody. Work guys, people at work, your kids. It's a good thing. It's a little hobby. I figure, like, I would suggest it to anybody. And I think it brings a lot of fun into it. It's competitive, and people start pools and bets. It's a good thing and fun thing to do. As far as that, breaking news on the NCAA has been cracked down by the FBI. Some schools are listed, some coaches were listed, and some players were listed under this scandal of players getting paid by sponsorships and their coaches and getting favorable activities going on, extracurricular activities, I should say, to commit to their schools. Players are getting money. Now, in my opinion, I don't really see too many harsh things about players, college players receiving money or those things. You got to think about it. These kids are in college. They can't work. They have to spend their full time in school with books, with performing in sports, and they have to be doing this 24/7, to be successful and to keep going, and it's how could they get a job, So I feel like this shouldn't be an issue with players getting money in the college level, because at the same time they fill these seats in the stands for you guys in these college programs. Okay, yes, I feel like it's wrong that it's been on under wraps for a long time, for years, and now it's coming about. They tighten things up right now. They're tightening things up with college programs and all the things that's been going on. This has been going on for years, and now it's coming out more because it's being talked about, from being the scandal with the Penn State and so on. And now things need to be more protected. Things about coaches here, getting strippers and things like that. Okay, that's a little bit too much, but as far as endorsing guys or offering them money to come to a school, I feel it's not a real bad thing, because like I said, kids can't work. What if a kid is a walk-on? He's not on a scholarship. He's a walk-on kid. He tries out for the team and makes the team. He's not on no academic scholarship. He's not none of that. So what about him? He's playing with a whole bunch of guys who are on full-fledged scholarships. What about him? He can't work. He might get a little part-time job at the college, but that's not giving you anything. That's not surviving. These kids are putting money to go to school, if not having a scholarship or loans. And then if it's loans, they have to pay these back. So why not give these kids, a little money to come here? They should get paid. They playing college basketball. They're on TV. They're filling up the stands. Okay, everybody in the stands are paying for a ticket. So why not? Why not? Give them some type of pay. That's how I feel about that. As far as that, they have two top names. I said Marquise Fultz and Dennis Smith Jr., who are now currently in the NBA. Fultz is being the #1 draft pick of this year's draft. Are both under fire because of this. Their names were the top two names known on the FBI list of this scandal that's been going on. Also, breaking news: Shaq's son declares to go play for UCLA after pre-committing to Arizona, but now the fact that Arizona is under fire because of the scandal, I guess they all backed out and decided to go a different place. As well as that, former NBA agent Dan Fegan died in a car accident while having his child and his wife in the car. They both are under serious conditions, but Finnegan has passed away. He was a longtime NBA agent for guys like Dwight Howard. Sad thing. Want to say God bless his family. Rest in peace. Also, Jimmy Butler had successful surgery on his meniscus tear, and they're hoping for his return before the playoffs. That'll be good for them. Minnesota is starting to peak up, and sad thing to see. There's a lot of bad injuries that have been happening. A lot of star players, Gordon Hayward and Boogie Cousins. Now we got Jimmy Butler. A lot of stars went down. Jeremy Lin. It's been a hard season. Also in news is Patriots re-signed Brandon Bolden to a 1-year veteran minimum contract. It was good to see him back. He's been with us for the past 6 years. And Blake Bortles also signed a 3-year, $51 million, I believe $54 million deal. Blake Bortles of the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback. It's a pretty good quarterback. I like him. He's showing a little promise over there in Jacksonville for them. As far as that, I have a Celtics update. We are now on a 3-game winning streak since the All-Star break. Let's go C's. As you see, Kyrie's been putting a lot of work in. He's been putting some good numbers in, as well as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are back at it, and it's like their slump has fallen off after from before the All-Star break, and they picking things right back up. They play tonight, actually. And yeah, we're riding on a 3-game winning streak. Things are looking up for us Pats. The Celtics. Think about Patriots. Free agency is coming up soon. And also they're talking about Dion Lewis might be out of there from free agency. So I would hate to see him leave. He was a very great back for us, especially after even torn his ACL and coming back and being so dominant as he was for us. But like I said, Celtics are on tonight. That'll be all for today. Hit the like, comment, subscribe button. And this is the In the Huddle podcast. And I'm Coach K. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out.